Though from San Francisco to Woodside, demonstrators have been out in force for hours today, some demanding a ceasefire in Gaza, while others are speaking out both for and against the Chinese Communist Party.
And we do have live team coverage for you tonight. KTVU's Brooks Giroz has been covering some of those demonstrations in San Francisco. But we begin with KTVU political reporter Greg Lee, who is live tonight in Woodside, where the two leaders met today and where the president is about to speak. Greg?
Yeah, Mike, Julie, good evening. The reason that news conference is being delayed is because of some of the stormy weather we're seeing in Woodside. They're moving that news conference from the outside to the inside. We're standing across the freeway from the Filoli estate, where the two presidents met for about 4 hours this afternoon. They did come to two agreements. One of them that they would curb fentanyl production and reopen military communications. Chinese President Xi Jinping arrived at about 11:15 this morning and was greeted at the car by President Biden. The highly anticipated, carefully choreographed summit, the first time these two leaders have met face-to-face in a year since the G20 summit sidelines. As we've been reporting, this is at a time when U.S.-China relations are at a low point. The two presidents sat at a long table, each flanked by members of their cabinet, the U.S. side, including Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. We do not expect any joint statements to come out of this meeting. Both presidents, though, delivering opening remarks that this is about maintaining communication between the world's two largest economies.
I value our conversation because I think it's paramount that you and I understand each other clearly, leader to leader, with no misconceptions or miscommunication. We have to ensure that competition does not veer into conflict.
I'm still of the view that major country competition is not the prevailing trend of current times and cannot solve the problems facing China and the United States or the world at large. Planet Earth is big enough for the two countries to succeed.
Now, ahead of that meeting, the U.S. and China announced a statement of cooperation to work towards ramping up renewable energy sources. And again, a White House official saying they reestablished military communications after they were broken off a year ago after then-Speaker Pelosi visited Taiwan. Now, that agenda also included human rights, Taiwan, and the upcoming election. And some reports from Chinese media saying Xi expressed some frustration with President Biden and the U.S. for some of their trade sanctions on China. And that is part of that conversation as well. But again, we await the results of this very important meeting between Xi and Biden when President Biden is expected to speak shortly here from Woodside. Guys.
We'll bring it to our viewers live tonight. All right, Greg Lee there in the South Bay. Greg, thank you. Also today at